Good afternoon. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you hear me? Yes? No? Is it too loud? Someone who does not wear the headphones, you can use headphones for a better sound. It's a silent stage. And welcome everyone who are back after your quick break. I hope you're all feeling energized in the first day of Tech Chill. How is everything? Good? How is the energy level? Yeah? Okay. So we still have it. That's great. Today is still going to be a long day. And right now, we are coming back from the break for a very interesting and, I would say, interactive session within the space pioneers. So we're going to discover the European companies that shape future technologies and applications in the strategic domains of defense and space. We're going to have a chance to hear 11 companies, right? 11 startups pitching, companies, startups, SMEs pitching and showcasing their solutions. And I guess without waiting anymore, I would like to invite the host, organizer, Guillaume de Brosse, right? Welcome please on stage. He will take over the stage with the pitches. Have fun.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me loud and clear? Excellent. So I'm very pleased to see you all this afternoon. Indeed, it's a unique chance for us, the European Commission, to be today at Tech Chill. And we want to give a chance as well to some of you, some companies, to make pitches, be it on space or defense. Before we start the pitching session, just a few words. So my name is Guillaume de Brosse. I'm head of unit, the European Commission. And actually my daily job is to ensure that we can promote innovation across the board on space and defense. We're working very closely with our defense colleagues. And what we do is change the way we do space. Space used to be dominated by a few big countries, large industry players. The same goes for defense. And we want to change that. We want to give a chance to new companies that have lots of good ideas, lots of innovative products, processes. We want to give the chance to them to pitch their solution and potentially to become the champions of tomorrow. So this is the purpose of this pitching session that we have today. We have investors in the room. Investors because quite often new space companies or new defense companies need new investors. And those investors have a high interest in listening to your ideas. Before we enter into the pitching session, just a few words about where we're heading. I mean, you know, European Commission, we have the broad picture. We are preparing the future, what's going to be the priorities of the upcoming years. And I just want to tell you there are two big drivers for the upcoming years. One is competitiveness. So we should not lose the competitiveness grounds. So competitiveness will be very high on the agenda of the European Commission and of Europe in the upcoming years. We see a growing gap between Europe and the US, and therefore we really count on our startups and SMEs to regain competitiveness advantage in Europe. That's number one. The second big driver will be resilience or preparedness. No need to dwell too much on the geopolitical context, but clearly we need to be ready. And resilience will very much matter for the upcoming years as well. So you have two big headlines for the European Commission, for the European agenda in the upcoming years, competitiveness and resilience. Now we are preparing the ground in the European Commission for the upcoming years, and there are things we are trying to simplify. And here I'd like to mention three things. One is we want to defragment as much as possible the markets. We have today 27 member states, and sometimes we see huge fragmentation, which has an impact on the competitiveness. For you to operate in one member state and then to operate in another member state, you have different rules, and then sometimes it's very complex. So we want to defragment, to create real and genuine single markets, be it for defense or space. Second issue is procurement. We know that procurement at European level is very complex sometimes, quite cumbersome for small companies, startups or SMEs. It takes huge admin burden for you to bid or to report, and that's something that we want to simplify. So we want to simplify the way we do procurement. We want to accelerate the time to contract or the time to grant. And the third element is investment. Investment is likely to grow, highly likely to grow, in defense areas and in space areas. So which is good news for you because you have some predictability in the upcoming years when it comes to budget allocated to space and defense. So you are at the right place, at the right moment. Again, this is your chance, and we are always very happy as European Commission to listen to the different products, technologies that you are developing. We have lots of tools to support you, from early stage to late stage. This event is one of the networking events that we organize. So don't hesitate to be in touch with my colleagues, be it on the defense side or on the space side. But we are very eager to have, again, this close cooperation with you and to prepare the ground for our champions of tomorrow. And I'm sure that among you, they are certainly the champions of tomorrow. So thank you so much. And we look forward now to your pitches. And I'd like to invite Criffin on stage for the pitch number 1.
That's not the right slide. No. All right, placeholder. Come back. All right, it seems that I have no slides, but that's all right. I've done this before, I can do it again. Hi, my name is Peter Niller. I am representing Criffin, and our goal is saving lives of special operators in very, very complex room clearing and close quarter combat missions. So what we do, we have now. We have been around for a while. What we maybe called in the startup industry is cockroaches, the ones that survived the nuclear war. So we've been through all kinds of times, but we always survived, and we're going to take this to a higher level. What I would like to focus on here, because we have done so many interesting things that we just don't have time. We are part of 2 consortiums, a European Defence Agency funded consortiums, and this is something that has opened us the doors to several important European defense forces. So we are closely cooperating with them already. The problems we solve are actually quite simple if you look at them. The training sites are very limited with availability, and one of the biggest problems is that they are just repetitive, which is very bad for the situational awareness if the special operator goes as a squad, clears the rooms, but they're always the same or almost the same as of planning. But the other problem is instructor time. Especially with hard times right now, we have to make everything we can to automate and make sure that instructors' time is freed. So that, and third, of course, is logistics. Going to the sites, getting geared up, going into the training, everything takes time. So logistics, ammunition, and so on and so on. There are many problems to solve. What we do is basically we give the instructors in virtual reality the kind of kill house room builder where they can do any strategy they want, besides of the scenarios that we built for them in open terrain, so they can practice any type of simulation they want. The other aspect is, of course, that we are developing this what we call automated feedbacking, so that it is technology-assisted after-action review, meaning that all the mistakes that operators make, some of the mistakes that operators make are tracked by technology and communicated back to the technology, again freeing that very expensive and very, very scarce instructor time. And obviously, it all saves money and time. Time is money, and money equals time. So additionally, we can also bring relocations into virtual reality. For example, government buildings, airports, and so on, which are inaccessible to for training, can be trained and practiced. I mean, anyone who has played any computer games, first-person shooters, knows how important it is to know the map. So our unique selling points are quite simple. We can do any environment, also in large scale, multiple floors, and fully immersed in virtual reality. It is very affordable. We are doing MSaaS model, meaning that we don't sell any expensive additional equipment. So you can just buy the headsets, buy the computers, and get going. So we want to scale fast. So basically, I've told you most of the important things already in a nutshell. Some of it is also on the slides behind me. Some of it is a little bit repeating. But what is technology-assisted after-action review? I will go a little bit into it. But basically, it is all the mistakes we can track with technology. We will communicate this back to the trainee and also gather all that data per trainee, and they can have access to their progress. Also, their commanding officers up the chain can have access to the progress per unit, per squad, per soldier. We're TRL4, and basically right now we are in the phase of researching the instructor tools with the forces. We are targeting not only military, but also police, also private security. So we're not limited to the defense forces alone. And based in Tallinn, we're a team of 5, and we are raising 2.4 million for 4 years runway to continue with a small, talented, agile team to develop state-of-the-art technology. That was me, Peter Neeler from Criffin. Thank you for your attention. Let's make operators safe.
I think we have time for a question if you want.
Yeah, sure. Any questions? Go on.
Thanks, Peter. What kind of simulation engine do you use?
Technical questions. We are using Unity. Yeah, we have the best skill set in Unity. I know Unreal has its own pluses and minuses, but we are on Unity. And thanks. Any more questions? Just to clarify, if somebody didn't understand, it is virtual reality simulator. And when I wrote on the slides, it's station-based. It means that everybody is still on their spot and moving around with remotes in the virtual reality, which makes it very scalable. It can be as large or as small training area as necessary. Just to clarify that it's in VR with remotes, moving around and cutting corners, slicing pie. Yes?
Hello, Peter. Quick question. How long does it take to build the next environment? Let's say new environment, if you have a new client, like how much time it takes a new scene for either police or firemen or so?
Very good question. How long does it take to build a new environment? Basically, it depends on the environment is the first answer. But when we talk about, let's say, a simple environment, let's say it's a school. No, it's not very complicated. There are repetitive rooms, repetitive furniture. I would say we can do this in several months. And because the base platform is very integratable with any new scenario, it is not like making a new simulation from zero. It is more just making a new environment and applying all the tools on top of it. So to graphically try to speak. Seems we're done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We will call for Aurora.
Hello, I'm Roope Takala. I'm the chairman and founder of Aurora Propulsion Technologies. We are a space company. We make solutions for sustainable use of space. In practice, that means we take down satellites when the missions are completed. We also do inspection missions to existing satellites with our engine packages. We are founded in 2018, and our two unique technologies are the plasma brake for the deorbiting, it's a tether-based system, and a water-based propulsion device. You might think that propulsion sometimes is something big like Elon Musk's rocket. We don't have that kind of a self-esteem problem here in Europe, so our rocket engines are the smallest in the world. Of course, we are covered these by patents, and we have a little bit of traction from different companies. For instance, we just closed a deal with Spectral to make a commercial version of this plasma brake. Currently, we have 2 satellites in orbit. The first one, AurorSat 1, was flown in 2022. It is now decommissioned. Orbuster Strider is a partner satellite that we flew last summer. And the next one is most likely going to be later on this year with Kvarkensat. It might be delayed, but let's see how that goes. And then early next year, we will have another 2 launches. As you notice, there are two technologies, the tether-based plasma brake and then the propulsion modules that we make. Now let's take a little bit of a deeper look at the portfolio. The thruster modules are based on a single thruster concept that is utilized in different form factors. This means that we have a collision avoidance device that has 1 thruster and a very small tank. This one, it's the size of a matchbox. And then the bigger one, which is about the size of a, well, lump of butter. That has 6 of the same engines as we have in the first one. That's used for attitude control or orbital corrections, phasing of satellite constellations, so putting the satellites equally around the world. And then we do orbital control, which is raising and lowering the orbits a little bit. Then the other product line is the tether-based products, which, forgot to say, we have combos of the 2 technologies as well. For instance, this is the one we flew last summer. It has also an ion engine from other companies, so consortia in this industry are quite common. And that's one of them. The tether-based technologies are basically for deorbiting satellites, but maybe in another 5 to 10 years, we will be also able to use them for propulsion in deep space. This is because the solar wind is moving at about 800 kilometers per second, and we catch that wind and we fly with it. Our advantages are that we are mass producible. The devices can be produced in rather large batches, pushing down the costs and making them also quite cost effective in the sense that they are very light. I feel, after all, you remember that flying into space costs about 50,000 euros per kilogram. Our devices weigh about 30 grams or so. Why would you use this? Well, number one argument is you have to, because you can't fly unless you can deorbit your satellite. This is a US regulation coming into place. And now, of course, for the DEFIS guys, there is a request. When does Europe follow? It's actually a really important part for this show because we do not have a European-wide regulation in place at the moment. I know it's coming, but we need it so that we can sell with the same terms across the whole continent and maybe barter with the Americans that we can all live with our rules and sell as such to them, and then we can maybe accept their rules with their products. So it gives a bigger market area. And of course, what we do to the customers, we save their money by making smaller satellites. They can make more for the same amount of cash. Now for investors, of course, I always need to show the hockey stick curve. I have good news for you. This one is actual. It ends at 2024. And it continues going up. So the corner of the hockey stick has been turned. So this is actually business happening. The propulsion market, depending a little bit how you define it, is about $16 billion worth of revenue in the world at the moment. We have a team of 18 people at the moment. We plan to grow to about 24 this year. And the idea, of course, is we have a diverse team of young, old people from chemistry, software, mechanical engineering, you name it. Everything's in a rocket engine. What we are doing now is we are raising an A round. We have 5 million pitched already, and another soft pitch for another 5 million, and now we are looking for the last 5 million with a lead investor, because The two investors we have are follow-on investors. The raise is about 13 to 20 million, depending a little bit how we balance the growth plan. Do we include inorganic growth or not? And as said, a lead investor is the one we are searching for now. If it's you, please give me a yell. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll now go to LightSpace directly, sorry.
Sorry?
We'll go directly to LightSpace.
Okay.
LightSpace?
That's me. Thank you. So green is going ahead, so I start, yeah? Hello, everybody. Do you hear me? Good. So, yes. Artificial intelligence delivered by the augmented reality interface for mission-critical applications. So we are offering technology to deliver AI tools, AI information to every soldier on battlefield. We're talking defense here, right? You've seen maybe Microsoft trial to deliver its IVAS system, which is based on HoloLens to U.S. Army, which failed 2 years ago, and they tried to fix it, but they have really the problem is not. There's a problem clearly. So where is the problem? Problem is simple. All the current builders of AR or VR headsets using this technology, which is British optician Brewster invented 180 years ago. So nothing innovative here. Okay, they do better engineered. Even Apple device is nicely engineered, but it has the same concept. What does it mean? It's like in bad stereoscopic cinema, basically, you are there. We have developed absolutely revolutionary solution, multifocal image projection. The thing has been really research based in Berkeley, University of California, by famous Matty Banks Laboratory, Vision Science. What it does, we were first and only company in the world who really built it. What it does, you can have near distance precise air visualization, eye comfort, and enabled long use periods. So long use, professional use cases, you can use it for many hours with any harm to your vision or to your brain. We do that. So, of course, it doesn't come for free. We have spent around 16 million euros, and we can say 1 million per granted patent. It's still some are pending, so it will be more. So it has absolutely focused portfolio for these use cases. Already we built last year proof of concept products. They've been shown on the market. We've shown to Armed Trials and Development Unit in UK. Test driver action was extremely positive. So where we use it? Driving. We'll show in the next slides. Prime contractor, Rheinmetall. In healthcare, we are dual use. Of course, we started with healthcare, but then war started, then we switched to the defense. Medtronic said, consensus your system has impressive optics and display technology, which has great potential. And the same thing said also by Medop from Poland. So basically, what's offer? Offer is our hardware, packed with the AI interface and packed with a lot of 3D information sources. So that's the offer for defense, for all use cases. So product roadmap, we're going in two directions. The first one, well, it's a little bit strange. It should not be behind. So the one full 3D version of the thing is going for the armed vehicle drivers and commanders, and this is micro display based system for like more soldiers in the field, and display and drone control stations. So these are use cases. Maybe I won't tell very much. Not so much time left, but basically we are building right now a product for driving armed vehicles with a full visualization surroundings and also a lot of additional enhancements. This is a team, a best team, 27 people, and myself. This is my 5th project. I have done 2 IPOs before with technological companies, 2 technological companies with manufacturing of electronic systems. These are Nasdaq Stockholm and Nasdaq Riga. That's about, actually, let's finish. Okay, of course you're looking for money. 8 to 10 million. To deliver products, you already have signed up with to deliver to prime contractors from NATO countries, Germany, UK. Magnitude of requirement 50 to 70 million. That needs to be started manufacturing and delivered next 2 years. So this is where we're looking for the funding, basically. Further questions, you can ask me now or afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll call Capazeta on stage.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So, hello. I'm Martin from Capazeta, and we are enabling global and timely biomass measurements from space. We're an Earth observation company from Tartu, Estonia, and we've been successfully operating since 2015. By now, we employ 18 people, and we have paying customers. So how we help our customers? We provide insights from satellite imagery, empowered by AI models and automated processing. And our most significant customers are the Estonian and Danish agricultural paying agencies, but we also focus on forestry and defense markets. And we also work a lot with the European Space Agency, and we've come up with a concept for a world-changing satellite constellation. So the problem that we're all really facing here is a global climate crisis. And at the same time, the world's forests are a crucial measure for keeping the global warming under control. Yet, we do not really know where our forests really are and how they are doing. So there is a lack of reliable, scalable, and continuous data for global deforestation, where it's happening and how fast it's actually happening. The information is localized, and there is often even an information gap between public organizations of the same country. And on a commercial side, the carbon markets, the voluntary carbon markets that are an important measure for funding the reforestation and forest conservation efforts have faced significant reliability issues in the past year. So how to tackle this reliability and transparency problem? We are developing a space mission to enable forest height and volume measurements from space. We plan to do it globally, bi-weekly, and a very high accuracy. So what we aim to do? We aim to build 3 small passive receiver satellites to fly in constellation with European Commission's existing Sentinel-1 satellite. If we capture Sentinel-1 signal reflections from different angles, we can effectively create a 3D image of the world's forests. Our approach is different from most commercial satellite constellation providers, as we are not planning to build 100 satellites to achieve global coverage. Instead, we are enhancing an existing very powerful data source, such as the Copernicus Sentinel-1, for a fraction of its cost. Think of our mission as a bunch of cameras taking an image of a single object, but only one of those cameras requires a flash. And the one with the flash is the existing one. That's the Sentinel-1. We only need to build the small, cheap cameras without the flash. So where we are now, we are in parallel since this year developing the mission and the eventual data product. We plan to launch the eventual data product based on existing satellite imagery in around 2026. And once we get our own mission operational, we can enhance the accuracy of our data product. To be fully operational, we need 3 satellites, and we plan to launch them by 2029. The data product will be a forest volume and carbon stock measurement product on a parcel based. We plan to offer it globally with a bi-weekly revisit and a very high accuracy thanks to the enabled 3D measurements we can get. We plan to offer the product to the global carbon markets, the logging market, and also the defense market, which are all trending due to the global situation that we are in now. We have established a strong team to make this mission happen. Our team's a winning combination of space engineers, geographers, and business developers. And we are externally advised by one of the best scientists in radar receiver technology in the world. So my key call to action from here today, is let's get to know each other. We are planning our next private investment round early next year. So if you're interested in knowing more, collaborating with us, or eventually investing into us, get in touch with me, virtually or personally. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I will call now Grey Willow Technology. Grey Willow Technology on stage. No.
So who's the next one?
Grey Willow Technology. No.
Hello, my name is Rudolf. I'm with my colleague Marco, and we're happy to present our drone training kit. But first, a bit about ourselves. We represent Grey Willow Technologies. We are a company that was founded in 2019. We are based in Riga, Latvia, with one team member in Munich, Germany. We primarily offer cybersecurity consulting services, but since last year we also have a defense division. We have 2 engineers working on this drone training kit, and 1 project manager. Now I will give off to Marco, who will tell you a bit more in detail about these drone training kits, what they are and what exactly do we manufacture.
Our kit consists of 3 main components. The first one being the dropper. It is designed in a way to suit as many commercially available consumer-grade drones, and so that no modifications need to be done to the hardware of the drone itself. Moving on, we produce 3 types of munition. The first one being the soft ones, which are safe to use near humans and have injury description tags on them, which may inform medical personnel what injury has the person suffered so that they can act accordingly. Next, the hard munition, which is used for drone operator training. It is designed in a way to replicate the aerodynamic characteristics of the real munition and can be used for targeting and precision practice. And the last one, cargo delivery. It is in a way similar to hard munition, but has a compartment in it, which can be used for delivery of small items such as SD cards or notes or any other intel. And the last one being the drone stand, which is used to fit the drone in place after the munition is attached to it.
Right, and in the middle picture you can see the whole assembled kit with DJI Air 2. We plan for a training kit to include the dropper itself, 5 hard munitions, 5 soft munitions, cargo munitions, depending if there's a need from the customer for them, and also the launch pad. Our current technical readiness level is about 6. The dropper functions great. We are actively iterating on the munitions, exactly on the hard training munitions, so that it makes noise and can be heard when it's being dropped. And the way that we manufacture, we want to make sure that it's compatible with a wide array of drones and that we can easily scale the production process so that we can produce multiple munitions at the same time parallelly. What's next? We are looking to sell the kit to EU NATO forces and the allies. Right now, we are technical people in the team with practically no experience sales marketing. So supporting that, we will very appreciate. And also, as everyone here funding, we are not operating in space, or dimensions are not that huge. So from investors, we will be looking forward for about 40K so that we can develop full-scale research and development and production. Thank you so much for your attention. If you want to get in touch, you can scan the QR code. That will send an email to me. There's also my phone number if you want to call me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will call for Astrolight.
Hello there. I'm Laurie from Astrolight, and I'll tell you about our next generation laser comm system that we are building with Astrolight. So I had a privilege to work with a company that revolutionized the way we built satellites and made satellites more affordable. And that was 10 years ago. And this was a big success story and a big experience for me. And we really witnessed a revolution in the way we build satellites. And now we are witnessing another revolution in space, in seeing how SpaceX got the price of getting payloads to space, about 100 times less than it was 10 years ago. So there will be more and more satellites there, but what they will do, what's the value of them? And I think the value is the information that these satellites provide to us, for the decision makers, for us as a human beings here on Earth, to take the right decisions. But to provide that information, we need spectrum. So radio spectrum is very scarce. It's a limited resource, and with thousands of satellites being launched, all that spectrum is almost used now. So we need to get the optical spectrum, as we did 20 years ago with going from dial-up internet to fiber internet. So that's why we are building a next-generation optical communication system for satellites that will bring 10 times higher throughput for the satellites, and we'll do that very securely. What you see here is the laser beam that is delivered by our revolutionary Atlas lasercom terminal, and about 500 kilometers from space, the spot of that beam on the ground is around 100 meters, meaning that you can ensure that information reaches the party you want, not the adversary, and you are also quite resistant to any jamming attacks. But as the satellites are becoming more prevalent and really accessible, we should assume that the enemies and adversaries will build weapons that might compromise satellites. Anti-satellite weapons are on the rise. So I'm very glad that we had a chance to become the first company in the NATO Diana Cohort 1 to bring our technology that we built for space down to Earth and use it for our security. So what we want to do now as well is to bring unjammable, undetectable, high bandwidth laser communication for defense uses. And the first application we are approaching is the use of laser communication between ships to enable them to exchange information during radio silence. But also the next step is to connect all the assets, air, sea, space together, so we have the network resiliency in case of situation of war. Who we are a team from Lithuania, one of the best in lasers, but also a rising star in satellite technology. We're around 14 people. We are more than 4 years old now, already generating revenue, $500,000 this year. We project 1.5 million for this coming year. We have space and defense projects, working with commercial players, with European Space Agency, with Lithuanian Navy. We have about 5 new commercial orders for our laser terminal in the pipeline. And this is our technology that we demonstrated on the ground. We are now building Atlas, one of the smallest laser terminals for satellites that will deliver one of the highest data rates for its size. And we also want to apply this technology for use on the ground, as I said before. So what we want to do now is we want to raise more capital to grow faster. The goal is to invest into our manufacturing capability, to deliver the products to our new customers, to bring new facilities, to launch our first demonstration mission together with the help of CASSINI. I'm very thankful for this program, and also some of our commercial trusted customers, and to build our first optical ground station. And what we want to do is to demonstrate the full end-to-end connectivity between space and Earth. And the next step will be to build the biggest optical ground station hub in the world, especially for the use of European security and resilience. So I end with a note that there's no investment in space, only information we get from space. And we are building the system that will deliver that information. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
If you have questions, you can reach me
after the show. Do we have repsense.io? Yep.
Hi. So I guess they keep the best secrets hidden. That's why we're at the huddle stage. We have 5 minutes to do the presentation. My name is Domas. I'm coming from Lithuania. I'm a Director of Customer Success at RepSense. And I'm going to be talking about the importance of making sense of information in the age of information warfare. So a lot of decisions by CEOs and executives are being made based on intelligence that we can gather from publicly accessible information. And open source intelligence is also one of the areas where a lot of information is being collected to make decisions as well as on the field, also in the control rooms for the decision making. We get into the information bubbles and echo chambers where we are not very well informed with the different sources of information that put us in one narrow corridor. At RepSense, we developed a platform that's called Adler, where we collect information from various sources, including social media, publicly available information, radio, TV, and press, and find the narratives in that media that help to identify the patterns, especially becoming very important when we try to counter the fake narratives and propaganda. We output it into an application also used for corporate media monitoring and for defense sector. I want to show you one of the examples that we did in a recent study that we researched the public image of Latvia in 40 countries. 160,000 sources have been evaluated, and the system, without any manual input, was able to detect the trends or the biggest clusters, what stories made into the media, what stories about Latvia were most visible. Now, this next slide will show you how propaganda works. Whenever publicly in foreign countries there is information about Latvia related to election, or maybe there's a new prime minister being assigned, at the same time in these sources we see another narrative popping up about language exam requirements for the Russian speakers who live in Latvia. So when there is communication about something new happening in Latvia, there's also now propaganda. And this is not about the information in Latvia. This is all the other countries that might support Latvia in case of a need, in case of a defense. So this information is being collected from traditional or professional media, also social media. We look at the search results and what people are searching for, and can be used for custom sources. One very good example that's really good to show is your phone conversations can be translated into text. They are stored for 3 years. We can use a narrative model to find the patterns in the phone conversations on whatever information we're looking for, and then find the malign players in that area. The aim of this is to find the valuable signals in the whole noise of information, and to automate the data collection, automate the decision making, and also our Insight and Copilot tools help to offer different response scenarios, how you could act on this information. With our primary, as a company, as the software is dual use, with our primary revenue stream, which is media monitoring, we are trying to bite an apple of 4 billion, which is expected to grow to 13 billion and a half in 2030. And Cision, Meltwater, Inclusive Signal, and Mention are a sort of our competitors worldwide, with many of them trying to create a sentiment model. They are at very early stages where we have advanced and have a product that we've released already. We have a very experienced team that circles around two main founders, Alfredas and Mykolas. One is the CTO and the model creator, If you Google his name, you'll find some interesting stories. And Mikolas is a 20 years professional in crisis management and reputation management. So somebody from Lithuania will probably know them. And overall, the team is 18 people. Most of that is engineers, but then we have the quality assurance teams as well. Now, we've already raised 1.4 million. Our lead investors are Iron Wolf Capital, also Co-Invest plus Angels, Baltic Sandbox Ventures, some of the money that put in by the founders. We are currently on a 20K MRR, and the product, before the product actual launch, our MVP has been released in January this year. We have a new release happening today of the newest app. We're not raising currently, but we're looking for the seed round late 2024, early 2025. Thank you very much. My 5 minutes have run out, and I have a joke. An average sex intercourse takes about 5.4 seconds. So I hope you had fun. Thank you. Find me. I'll be here after the presentations.
Thank you very much. I will call Nanocraft SIA. Mike.
Hello. How are you?
Would you like this?
All right. Can I get these potatoes? All right, thank you. Thanks for the opening slide. That's my company. It's recently founded. My mom calls these potatoes. Do you know what they are? Who knows what they are? Okay, someone? Anyone knows how it's called? Okay, it's an asteroid Itokawa. You can think of which one of these is a real image. I'll not make this question thing now. But I'll tell you that none are real. All of them are created with different kinds of 3D capable software. I created the upper two ones with softwares called Surrender and Pangu. And my dear friend and colleague Mikkel created the bottom two ones from the University of Tartu. I was at Aalto University back then doing a postdoc. So all these tools are amazing. We can create space in our computers. That's like a dream coming true. But they're also extremely cumbersome to use. And basically, you need a degree in computer science to make them run. Now, what I forgot to mention is that they also don't work in real time. So you set up the scene, and then you set your computer to run it for a while, even to make one image. Not to mention that a video would take much more time because we have 24 frames per second that our eyes can register. But as automotive industry is doing, space is also going to new directions and cameras are becoming a commonplace. My last mission design includes close to 10 cameras. And here we are simulating two of them with my student Gustavs, who is making this world with the moon, with the Earth, with the sun. So we have a satellite in lunar orbit, and we would like to see these objects. And he's making it in Unreal Engine 5. So before I was asking what was used in the combat training, it was Unity. So we go the hard way with Unreal Engine 5 because we need this photorealism. And that's a technology that emerged with real-time applications only in the last couple of years, maybe 3 years. So that's what we can do, but this is still just somebody's, basically my student's prototype in Gustav's computer. It's not a piece of software that you can use for mission design if you don't come to my research group. So this is how mission design software looks. I use it on a daily basis. This one is an open source version, so it looks like 90s. But the paid version called SDK, I think it looks very similar. But the problem here is not how it looks. The problem is that this image is not photorealistic. It's there just to give us a representation of how the moon looks. But think that if you would like to develop a camera that is using images of the moon, of the earth and the sun, other celestial bodies, in order to find out where the satellite is. So this is what we want to target. We would like to provide a new way of satellites navigating in space, determining their position by using well, simulated images while we develop algorithms, and then, of course, real images when we are closer to the space or when we are in space. Now, we can create a lot of things in 3D, and they look amazing. And these kinds of things we need in order to start developing and writing algorithms. So what we want to do is to combine different pieces of software that we have already now in 3D technology, in orbital dynamics, in spacecraft control, in spacecraft dynamics, and to put it in a software that anyone could use. You don't need a degree in computer science or in physics to use it. Now the company we have is a new one. I have gathered about 10 people interested to work with us in the company, and we're starting our first project soon, which is for the European Space Agency to work on Comet Interceptor 3D modeling. So the first potatoes that I showed, that's the stuff we would like to do. And that's a small project, but based on that, we would like to create this mission design tool where we would integrate, the 3D side with Unreal Engine 5, with the orbital and other models that are necessary for mission design. And I think with this first part, we could get like a software tool that we can use for internal we can use for consulting. So the tool is used internally, and then we need much bigger funding later on in order to scale down to a nice piece of software. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. I will call Exonicus R&D. Hi.
Hello, my name is Sandis from Exonicus. Exonicus is supporting NATO and its allies to save lives on the battlefield. Exonicus for Europe funded 2018 in Latvia, team of 11 employees focused on the research and development. Specifically, we are helping here in Europe with the digital transformation of education for armed forces. So the problem is that so many soldiers die on the battlefield, what we see right now in Ukraine. Not enough or very weak pre-deployment training results in a battlefield death. So our solution is digital transformation of education, preparing more well-educated soldiers and combat medics. Our solution is virtual reality trauma simulator. Our team consists of myself, a chief medical officer, Dr. Kyle Kuperus, Liga Elere, engineers, and very seasoned commercialization experts. We are in a business for more than 10 years, started in the United States and expanded to Europe. Specifically, we work with the US Army, Latvian Army, Estonian and German armed forces. Our business is done on a commercial basis as well as on research with large defense players. In European setting, we have secured funding through services rendered to Exonicus Inc. and by adapting Exonicus Trauma Simulator to meet requirements of the German, Latvian, and Estonian armed forces. So specifically, we are Exonicus R&D equipped to help other government enterprises and private enterprises to digital transformation of their training needs. We are currently working with Riga Airport, and there are other customers in our pipeline. And so this collaboration comes with the fee to fund sustainable, responsible, and financially viable business operations. I'm not fundraising. I'm looking for a business opportunity to help your government organizations, sub-organizations, and large corporates to transform the training, not only in medical, but also in other fields. Thank you. My name is Sandis Kondrats from Exonicus.
Thank you very much. I will call Photonics.
Hello, my name is Jelena Kupete. I'm a business developer at Photonic, and I will be presenting our innovative space technology to you. So, our innovative space technology is the satellite laser ranging instrument for space asset protection, Eagle-K. Photonic is an engineering company where a team of 8 scientists develops innovative technologies, space technologies, and has already produced 7 satellite laser ranging instruments worldwide. Why do we need such an instrument? Firstly, because we are launching now more satellites than ever before, and secondly, because the amount of space junk is increasing. And in result, in space, we have too many objects flying that can collide with satellites. Therefore, we need to protect them. Today, we have 2 options how we can protect satellites: using radars or using satellite laser ranging instruments. But if we take options created by other companies, we find that they are either too large, weighing up to 30 tons, or they cost up to 100 millions, or they cannot detect small size objects. So we don't have yet a truly effective option for protecting satellites. Therefore, the Photonic team has developed an innovative satellite laser ranging instrument that can detect and track very small-sized objects from 3 to 5 centimeters up to 1,000 kilometers. Additionally, it is not huge in size, as you can see, and it is affordable. The full set of Eagle-K costs only 3 million. Our potential clients are governmental and commercial organizations specializing in space defense and communication technologies. Regarding investments, we are currently seeking financing of 5 million euros to finalize our concept prototype and construct 2 serially replicable industrial prototypes. And I would like to add that after finalizing our prototypes, we plan to integrate an optical ground-to-satellite communication channel for Eagle-K, enabling revolutionary high-speed data communication for up to 200 gigabytes per second. It will make our instrument as good as NASA's instruments, but just experimentally reached. So, thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Ratel.
Hello, Riga. So, I'm from Ratel Robotics. My name is Rain-Alari Külm. And in my heart, as you can see, I'm the infantryman. Just for you, I went and had a haircut and then changed my beard a little bit. Our company was first mentioned in annals last March 2023. And we went for the big money in Estonian Defense Ministry to start building our UGVs, or unmanned ground vehicles, for my own use, of course, because I'm platoon leader, so I need those machines. In our team, we have currently roughly 6 people. So we have a software lead sitting here. We have a real engineer. He can do stuff. And we have some people who do the other stuff. Now to the point, why am I here? So, like I said, we are building UGVs, which are basically small machines with wheels, and they drive around in the forest and help us do the deeds for the military operations. We are trying to build, or we have so far built 2 prototypes which are semi-autonomous. So they are doing follow me, and they are usable with control pad. but we want to go further and we want to actually use them in the real situations. So currently we are working with our third prototype. It's currently in the CAD, but it's going to be live soon. So something level 4, level 5. And here I can show you what we did. We started with a POC. Is it even doable to build a small machine with small team? So we started, it worked, it followed you, and it was scary. If you've seen the Terminator movie and then Terminator finds you, okay, locks, and then it's like it follows you. And then we understood that wood is not good. It doesn't like water. So we started building with steel, made a power box, etc., etc. And the bigger one works even better. But again, it's small, and I need a little bit bigger machines. So our current plan is to have a machine that fits in any kind of small van. So as you know, in war times, there are civilian machines all around. Some of them are even working. So any kind of transport with a van is really good. We focus on the modular design. What it means? It means that if something gets shut off or blown apart, we can easily change it. So everything is interchangeable. Robustness. Little joke. Usually army units, let's say platoon, if you give them 2 kettlebells and you put them into a small room for like 15 minutes, you come back, 1 kettlebell is broken, other is missing. So that's why it needs to be robust. Light but hardy. Again, it must be like under 200 kilograms, because in this case people can handle it actually. If it's like half a ton or 2 tons, it needs special equipment, etc., etc. It's really difficult. Integration with any kind of communication systems like in NATO, because Estonian Defence League, Estonian forces are part of NATO, so we need to be able to connect to all those systems. And of course, if you use Follow Me, then you need the safety, because if somebody gets stuck under the wheels, it's bad, believe me. And of course, large range, because I was last year in this UGV demo event. Everybody from whom I asked how long can your machine drive, or how long can it operate? It's like 4 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours. I, as a platoon leader, have nothing to do with machine that works only 12 hours. So, with our 2 first prototypes, we have had positive feedback from Estonian Defence League, and we have been in contact with Estonian Defence Forces. I believe Baltic different country forces are also willing to test it if we get to them with the prototype. And of course, we are thinking about civilian different parties also. And so far, from the last year, we got grant from AI Accelerator, so the following me part. And currently we are in Estonian Defence Ministry project, hoping to get some money. And from here, we are looking for seed money, maximum 60 to 120,000. Any questions? That's it. Thank you.
Hi, can you guys hear me? All right, thank you for having me. I'm Henry, CEO and co-founder of Wayren. So we're an Estonian defense startup. With a team that previously built the Estonian command and control system, we are providing uninterrupted communications for our troops. So as you probably assume, reliable communications is key for evacuating the wounded, organizing fire support, achieving situational awareness. However, due to the extreme battlefield conditions, traditional communication systems are not reliable enough, putting our units at risk while they try to relay critical information. We provide software for deploying reliable mesh networks with wide range of communication equipment, such as commercial radios, tactical radios, satellite, and 4G. On top of that, we use our extremely efficient data synchronization to keep those links working in extreme environments. Interesting. Units on the field utilize our app to select what type of radios they want to use, what type of groups they want to connect to, and then we automatically create a distributed mesh network between them, and there could be multiple hops in between. We include a map application and also a chat for a complete situation awareness picture. I'm sorry about the font, there was some conversion issue. There are multiple sectors that are struggling with reliable communications, such as remote industrial operations, law enforcement, and with our deployment in the defense industry, we are going to dominate these sectors with our military-grade reliability compared to other mesh networking solutions. Our licensing model is 96 euros per device per year, and we work with partners who want to leverage our communication solutions, who can integrate their apps for free. Yeah, I'm sorry about this, some conversion issue, but don't mind. We have deployed our system in Estonian defense forces already, and we are on track to deploy it in Ukraine, and we're working with industry partners such as ST Engineering in other regions. Like I mentioned before, our team has background in Estonian Cyber Command, so we are a team of experts in tactical communications and also have a wide network in the defense industry. We're looking for our seed stage investment of 700,000, so we have lead investor Baltic Sandbox Ventures and also great investors like Kuldar and Taavi from Milrem already on board. Thank you for the attention, and I would be happy to take any question if there are. Yep. Microphone.
Just a quick question. How does your app differentiate, for example, from ATAC, which is currently used by a lot of NATO states?
So actually, the picture I was showing was ATAC. So we have ATAC plugin to use our mesh network. ATAC itself, out of the box, only use internet connection. So we provide highly efficient mesh network over also tactical environments with radios, point-to-point connection over radios. Any other questions? Do we have time? All right. Thank you.